Hey guys, welcome back. I should be streaming as of now. Please let me know if you guys can hear me or see me. Jermaine, what's up, bro? Hello. We are live from Charlotte in North Carolina. Come on, there you go. How are you guys doing today? Good? It was a boring day today, huh? Not really much to do out there. Hello. Casual times. We can hear you. Awesome. Please drop a comment down below, guys, and let me know what stocks you want me to go over. Today we had another green day. The SPY's looking better, huh? There's still technical damage out there, but the SPY's looking better, a bit better. Happy Tuesday, yeah. I usually go live for you guys on Thursdays, but this upcoming Thursday, we have Apple reporting earnings at 4:30 p.m., so I might be a bit complicated on Thursday, so I decided to go live today. I would like to go live for you at least twice a week. Sometimes, I would like to do it, but it's very difficult for me. Yeah. Ajax, I got stamped out in Amazon. Went off the news. Hello, Ajax. Jaya Kumar. Affinity Forecast. There you go. Glenda Curtin. Hello. Drop a comment down below, guys. Let me know what stocks you want me to go over. And in the meantime, I am going to make a summary about what happened today in the markets. Nothing really important and meaningful happened today. Tomorrow, we have a lot of macro data coming out that could be potentially moving the tape. And after that, we'll take a look at our pivot. Are you guys using our pivot in order to trade the markets? Hello from San Diego. Kim Cole is in Northern California. I gotta go to California. I haven't been to California yet. It gotta be a beautiful place. S. Thurpy, hello from DC. Samsu, hello. I'd love to know your thoughts on GLD. I actually opened a position on GLD today. Yes, I did. I think we have higher prices coming up for gold. I'll let you guys know. Hito, Leslie, Drew, Bider, Derek Mathis. Welcome back, guys. Jennifer Hogg, Southern Bell. Hello, folks. Kim Cole. Coming from Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, you got to be like 3 hours away from me? Yeah, Curvena. Chef and Private Canadian. Leslie. It's so good to see you guys over here, for real. I like it. You know that I live stream throughout the whole training session for the members of my Patreon, which is spoken in Spanish. So when I go live for you in English and speaking English, it is something different that I'm doing, so I really enjoy it. Yeah. What I don't like to do is making videos. Like regular YouTube videos. Oh, I hate it. You guys have no idea. It is so tough. But here I am. Okay, so what happened today, guys? Green day across the board. The Russell 2000 went up 0.56%. The Nasdaq went up 0.55%. The S&P 500, or the SPY, went up 0.58%, and the Dow Jones went up 0.75%. Kind of a boring trading session today. Narrow ranging trading session that didn't offer a lot of trading opportunities. And take a look at what happened today, guys. So during the first 3 hours of the session, the SPY basically traded within a 3-point range until 1 p.m. At 1 p.m., the Secretary of Commerce, the lunatic, was interviewed on CNBC, and the markets pushed higher, and then between 1:30 p.m. and until 4 p.m., the SPY traded within a $2 range. So this wasn't a very generous session in order to day trade, and I know that most of you guys like to day trade. But I'm going to ask you a question. Aside from the boring session that we had today, with not a lot of volatility, take a look at the low of today's trading session, guys. $548.87. What did I say on Discord before the trading session opened, guys? What was our pivot today? And I think that you guys should our pivot every single day. This is very useful information, guys. So take a look. This is my channel on Discord, where I am narrating the trading session for you pretty much since, I don't know, like 6 a.m. until the markets are closed on a daily basis. And take a look at our pivot today, guys. I posted this information at 8:11 a.m. Look, 8:11 a.m., yes. Our pivot today is $548.60. After that, what did I say? So, while the bulls can sustain price above $540.60, they have the bull and can push the tape higher. And again, guys, take a look at the time. 8:11 a.m. So whoever listened to me, whoever kept in mind this information was today on the right side of the trade. Or I can also say on the right side of the tape. Why is it? Because of this. Take a look. What was today's low, guys? $548.90. As long as the bulls were able to sustain price above $548.60, there were no reasons in order to short the tape. Zero. And take a look. I said this at 8:11 a.m. And then I, pointed out levels of interest in the case of the SPY. I wasn't very active today because, take a look, guys. Today's session was very slow. It wasn't a very generous session in order to be taking a lot of trades. And pipe down. Thank you. Almost had my first $100 day with your close today. Awesome. I am usually more active than today on Discord, especially when there's a lot of volatility in the markets. But my advice to you, and for those that are watching my stream for the first time, is keeping an eye on my pivot. I am pointing out this information every single day on Discord. And this is the pivot is the line that we draw every single day in order to determine who is in control of the tape, either buyers or sellers. And there you go. The pivot did work out today to the penny. Take a look at this, guys, and keep this in mind. I told you something about the macro stuff that is going to be released tomorrow. Let me see. I think that I mentioned this in Discord. Yeah, take a look. So tomorrow we have a ton of macro stuff coming out from 8:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. So please avoid leaving positions running overnight. So what is going to happen tomorrow, guys, from 8:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. So first of all, at 8:30 a.m., we have a GDP report for the first quarter of the year. That might give rise to some volatility. Then at 10 a.m., the favorite inflation gauge of the Federal Reserve is going to be released. And obviously, I am not going to be talking about any, about any of these macro data reports. We don't care about any macro data report. We just care about the reaction of the markets to any macro data report that is released. So in the case of the core PC, this report is usually posted at 8:30 a.m. and I don't know why they decided to release this report tomorrow at 10 a.m. So we have some macro stuff that could be moving the tape between 8:30 a.m. and until 10 a.m. So if you guys are trading like short-dated options, or I don't know, if maybe some of you guys are scalping, you should avoid opening trades until we get this out of our way. Okay. So this information is coming out tomorrow, and when it comes to the SPY, let me pull up here a 4-hour chart. As I just said, I mean the SPY went up a bit more than the S&P 500. The SPY went up today 0.63%, and it closed the trading session at $554.32. So we still have technical damage over here, guys. Take a look. The 100 DMA is downward sloping. We are below the 200-day moving average. And take a look at this green line. This is the 50-day moving average. 50 DMA, it is downward sloping. So despite the fact that the bulls have made, I would say that the bulls have made a decent progress over here, we still have to be careful. The SPY is still guilty until proven innocent. When I talk about progress, in the case of the SPY, what am I talking about, guys? I am talking about the rising 5 DMA, 5-day moving average. Take a look at this white line. This is the 5-day moving average. It is upward sloping. This is very positive for the bulls. The bulls were also able to recapture this pink line. This is the 20-day moving average. So good job for the bulls over there. And there's a level, guys, a level of interest, in my opinion, that you all have to keep in mind and that you all have to keep an eye on. $549. This is the high that was reached back on April 9th when Trump announced that they were postponing some of the tariffs and stuff like that. So we had a massive rally in the SPY of something like 9%. Well, on that day, the bulls were rejected at $549. Take a look at $549 is pretty much coinciding with the upward sloping 5-day moving average. The 5 DMA is signaling as of now pretty much $548. And if we take a look at an anchored volume weighted average price line, or if we take a look at an AVWAP that comes from all-time highs, in the case of the SPY, take a look at the level that we get here, guys. Oh, let me see. This is, okay, here. Sorry. This is the anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs. $549. So what message is this AVWAP that comes from all-time highs sending us? That the average market participant that started a position on the SPY, when the SPY hit $612, this was back on February 19th, at all-time highs, pretty much, has as of now an average price of $549. So if the bulls want to keep going higher, and maybe that is the case, I don't know that for sure because I don't have a crystal ball, they need to sustain price above $549. If $549 happens to be broken to the downside, and again, you will have all of this information on Discord on a real-time basis because I am, let's say, keeping you guys informed about the trading sessions from I would say 6 a.m. until pretty much the market close. But if $549 is broken to the downside, I wouldn't rule out a test of the 20-day moving average near $533. But say that the bulls keep pushing higher. I don't know, maybe they like the macroeconomic data that is coming out tomorrow. Keep an eye on the 50-day moving average. Take a look at the slope of the 50 DMA, guys. It is downward sloping. It is putting downward pressure over the SPY, over the S&P 500. So it would be a very significant victory for the bulls, let's just put it that way, being able to recapture that 50 DMA, that 50-day moving average. So say that the bulls can consolidate above $560. that could be potentially opening the door for a test of the 200-day moving average near $573. So, as of now, guys, above $560, I would be more bullish about the recent progress that we have been seeing in the case of the SPY, which is way off the lows. And I would be maybe thinking about getting some puts if I see the SPY closing candles below $548. So below the 5-day moving average, the former high back from April 9th, or that level, let's say, that coincides with a former level of resistance at $549 back from April 9th. But also, right at or between $548 and $549, we have the anchored volume weighted average price line that comes from all-time high. So $549, as of now, in my humble opinion, is a very important level in the case of the SPY. There you go. How do you decide the pivot? There's no specific formula for that, Cindy. Today, you guys can tell the pivot was the anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs. So this was pre-market. This was the factor that, in my opinion, was the heaviest factor to keep in mind before the trading session opened. Take a look, $548, and there you go, and 50 cents. So today, our pivot came from that AVWAP that comes from all-time highs. But there's no specific formula in order to determine the pivot. The pivot is simply, guys, a level that I would be comfortable going long above that level, that I would be feeling comfortable with going long above that level, and that below that level, I would be suspicious of the tape. And the pivot has been working very, 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 very good recently, right? To either the upside or the downside. There you go. So, guys, I don't know, any other questions about the SPY, about the pivot, about Discord? What stock is going to be the first one that I am going to be going over? Let me see. Let's see. Do you offer one-on-one sessions? Guys, I am getting a lot of questions from you about some sort of Patreon and stuff like that. My Patreon is in Spanish. So unless you speak Spanish, you have nothing to do with my Patreon. You will not find any valuable information, right? I'm starting to figure out a way of doing something in English. And if that happens, I will let you guys know, okay? But as of now, there's nothing concrete about it. But I would like to start a Patreon in English. So you guys can have like more access to me, okay? Other than my call outs on Discord. But as of now, there's nothing concrete about it. But it's coming. I think it's coming. I will let you guys know. Okay. As of now, you guys are good in our server, guys. On Christian server. Okay, so what's gonna be the first stock? Let's go over Tesla. Let's go over Tesla, my Tesla. So Tesla went up today 2% and it closed the trading session at $292. Guys, this is an easy one. Take a look at this red line. This is none other than the 200-day moving average. Big level for Tesla, guys. Huge level for Tesla. Let me draw a line here. And there it is. Say that Tesla opens tomorrow's trading session above $292. So above the 200-day moving average, which, by the way, happens to coincide with a previous level of resistance back from late March. If this were the case, in my opinion, we have higher prices coming up for Tesla. I think that if Tesla can consolidate above $292, $293, this technical short could become a magnet for buyers. And we could have higher prices on deck for Tesla. The next potential gap to the upside could be a former level of resistance for Tesla. Here you guys can see it. Back from early March at $306. Above $293, slightly above $293 or consolidated above $293, so above the 200-day moving average, I would start to be very constructive about this recovery that we have seen in the case of Tesla since its last earnings report was released. Oh yeah, below 293, I don't know. I wouldn't be thinking about going long Tesla. But say that the bulls fail at bursting above $293, so at recapturing the 200-day moving average, I mean, we could see a pullback here, a slight pullback down to the upward sloping 5 DMA, 5-day moving average, $274. This is a possible scenario. And take a look at this white line, guys. The 5-day moving average, it is upward sloping. It is pushing price up in minor time frames. So I would be curious, guys, about a retest of this upward sloping 5-day moving average at $274 approximately. It is, in my opinion, a level of interest for a potential bounce in the case of Tesla. And of course, guys, I am talking about a short-term trade here. Huh? Be careful, because we have a lot of technical damage over here. So Tesla, as of now, is trading how much of the highs? Tesla is 41% of the highs. And below the 100-day moving average. What does this imply in simple terms, guys? That we have a lot of buyers trapped above the current price of Tesla. That implies that we have a lot of buyers with unrealized losses waiting for Tesla to go higher in order to close their positions breaking even. So be careful. Don't fall in love with downtrends. Be careful, guys. Put this down on a sticky note. Do not fall in love with downtrends. Can we take short-term trades with downtrends? With downtrending stocks? Sure we can. But do not fall in love with downtrends. That being said, let me take a look at the market structure of Tesla. So, supply and demand, what do we see here? Let me pull up here the market structure of Tesla. This is a market structure chart. So what you see on top is the demand, buyers. When I say demand, I am talking about this blue shaded region that I am pointing out with my mouse. And at the bottom, you guys can see the supply, sellers. So the demand is starting to rise, which is very positive. The level of the supply sellers, the demand buyers. So the level of the supply is higher relative to the level of the demand, but the fact that the demand is rising is very positive, and we can actually reconcile this market structure chart with the fact that we can see on this 4-hour chart an upward sloping 5-day moving average. When I see that market structure chart, guys, it makes me believe that a potential retest of this upward sloping 5 DMA at around $274 could be a successful one. Could be. Okay, I never speak in absolute terms. I always speak in terms of possibilities. Okay, so $274 is a level of interest in case of a pullback in the case of Tesla. And speaking of back holders, guys, take a look at this. Let me pull up here some anchor VWAPs, some anchored volume weighted average price lines in the case of Tesla, and take a look at this. I am going to point out two anchor VWAPs here, guys. One that comes from all-time highs. This anchor VWAP is signaling as of now $306. Oh no. I take that back. An anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs. Let me see. This is a tricky one. Hold. There you go. Okay, no, I was right. So an anchored volume weighted average price line that comes from all-time highs is signaling as of now $307. What information is this anchored volume weighted average price line sending us, guys? Well, that the average market participant that started a position on Tesla when this stock reached $486 back in mid-December has an average price as of now of $307. They are holding a huge bag as of now. And the bag has become smaller. We can make a case, but they are still dealing with unrealized losses. What do you guys believe that these market participants will do right away, or most of them, I would say, if Tesla reaches or hits $307, I don't know, this week? What do you guys think? Most of them are very likely to close their positions breaking even. So this anchor VWAP becomes a level of interest from a supply standpoint, from a resistance standpoint. $300. And by the way, I think that this anchor VWAP is pretty much coinciding with the potential gap to the upside that I just pointed out. Take a look, $307, $306. This is a previous resistance for TESI back from early March. So long story short, guys, do not fall in love with downtrends. This stock has a lot of buyers trapped all over the place. So we have seen a very decent rally of the lows. But if Tesla keeps going higher, the likelihood for sellers to show up and therefore give rise to pullbacks increases significantly. Because we have a lot, because this stock is pretty much, guys, bag holders central. Keep that in mind, okay? So do not fall in love with TESI. And I mean, above the 200 DMA, guys, above 293, 294, I would be constructive about a potential short-term trade to the upside in the case of TESI. Hey, you guys were asking about gold, GLD. Let's take a look at GLD, guys. So I got some calls. In the case of GLD today, this stock is in an uptrend above all the moving averages, but the 5-day moving average. Take a look at the slope, guys, of the moving averages. 200, 150, 20 DMA. They are upward sloping. I just told you that in the case of Tesla, or in the case of the SPY, we had moving averages that are downward sloping. Therefore, they are pushing price down. But in the case of GLD, this is a technical chart that is under the control of whom? Of buyers. We have moving averages that are pushing price up. So I entered this trade when I saw a bit of consolidation today above the 5-day moving average. This is a very important level. So above $306 or above $307, I think that we have higher prices coming up for GLD, which is the ETF of gold. And by the way, the US dollar is looking very ugly, guys. Take a look at this. And obviously, I guess that if you guys are trading gold or are trading gold-related stocks, you must know that gold is inversely correlated relative to the US dollar, to the Dixie. Take a look at this chart of the US dollar, guys. It is looking ugly, ugly, ugly. And if the US dollar keeps going down, this is gasoline for another rally of gold. So these were the two reasons why I started the trade today on GLD. First of all, I saw consolidation above the 5-day moving average, and the weakness on the US dollar is very obvious. Guys, I saw this news today. So during the last 2 months, we have seen the largest decline on the US dollar for the last 2 decades. It's insane. Because all of this, tariffs fiasco that we are seeing as of now. So it is very weak. So we'll see. I am bullish GLD above the 5 DMA, as I just said, guys. Let me pull up here the GLD once again. Yeah, bullish above $306, $307. I think that we could see all-time highs once again for GLD if the bulls can sustain price above that 5-day above that 5-day moving average. What is your outlook on Meta? Meta is reporting earnings tomorrow, guys, so you shouldn't be involved in any trade on Meta as of now. The expected move, let me show you guys. The expected move, it went up today, by the way. Let me see. So 80% of the subscribers of Earnings Whispers consider that Meta is going to beat expectations, EPS, revenue, and 66% is considering that Meta is going higher once the earnings report comes out tomorrow at 4:40 p.m. Wow, they are releasing earnings tomorrow very late, guys. They are reporting earnings at 4:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So take a look, guys. The expected move is 8.2%. This is going to be a roller coaster right here, guys. So 8.2%. Let me see. 8.2%. This gotta be 8.2. This will be a $50 move to either the upside or the downside. So don't do anything on Meta, guys. Wait for the report to come out, and we'll see. I mean, this is a company that has been reporting very good earnings reports, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. It is this stock is trading half of the highs. Meta is trading 25% of the highs, so we can argue that maybe the markets have already priced in a lot of bad news. But when it comes to an earnings report, guys, you never know. It's unpredictable. Who knows what is going to happen in the case of Meta, right? So, yeah, we'll see. It is a $50 expected move. And I think that to the upside, I think that I have a level of interest to the upside. So let's try to determine a level of interest to the upside in case that the reaction of the markets is positive, and a level of interest to the downside in case that the reaction of the markets is negative. Who knows? So Meta. To the upside, guys, take a look at this anchored volume weighted average price line that comes from all-time highs. So Meta reached $740 back on February 14th. So the average market participant that started a position on Meta back on February 14th has an average price as of now of $584. Meta closed today's trading session above $554. So say that the report comes out tomorrow and Meta explodes to the upside, goes higher. And say that you guys see Meta closing candles once the report comes out. I will highlight that, okay? So the report comes out, Meta bursts above this anchored VWAP that comes from all-time highs. So if you guys happen to see Meta consolidating above $585, that implies, in my opinion, that the markets liked whatever Meta reported above $585. Yeah, I might be, I don't know. I am usually trading earnings reports. Most of you guys know that. I would be actually maybe grabbing some shares of Meta after hours if the report is positive when it comes to guidance, EPS, revenue, whatever, and if Meta can trade above $585. But on the flip side, from a negative reaction standpoint, I would keep an eye on the 20-day moving average at $531. The report comes out, Meta goes down, we see some sort of bounce, but if I don't see the bulls recapture in the 20-day moving average, I wouldn't touch Meta. So the net aggregate opinion of the markets is going to let us know what to do with Meta once the report comes out. Yeah, not a problem, Edwin. We are here to help. Sure, what other stock you guys asked about? I already did Tessie, Spy. Hello from New York. Hi, Jennifer. Hi from Alabama. Southern Belle. There you go. It's going to be a beautiful place with a lot of rednecks down there. There you go. I love the pivot. Awesome. And don't get me wrong, guys. I have a lot of rednecks over here in Charlotte. In North Carolina. Not in Charlotte, because I live in the metropolitan area of Charlotte. But outside Charlotte, oh, I have a lot of them, guys. Yeah. Very nice people, guys. Yeah. Gorgeous place. I gotta go. I definitely gotta go. Robinhood, which is also reporting earnings this week. I think that tomorrow, guys, right? Is Hood posting earnings tomorrow? I think so. Let me double check on that. Oh yeah. Guys, do not develop the negative habit of gambling on earnings. And I know that I have some of, I guess that some of you guys are newies in the business. If you gamble on earnings, you will not last long in this business. 1,000,000% guaranteed. 1,000,000% guaranteed. And mind you guys, I do trade earnings, but I buy shares once a report comes out. And I have a very well-defined plan. I know the expected move. I take a look at the report. And if the expected mood, not the expected mood. If the expected move hasn't been exhausted to the upside, and I like the report and I think that the report is positive, I grab shares. Okay? I am very often trading earnings, but I never do it via calls or puts. Keep that in mind. Do not do it. If you want to last long in this business, do not gamble on earnings. Period. Full stop. In the case of Hood, I mean, I can tell. I'm not gonna invest a lot of time analyzing Hood from a technical standpoint because this technical chart is going to be way different once the earnings report comes out. But I can tell you the expected move and I can point out some levels of interest here. So let me see what's the expected move on Hood. Let's see, Robinhood markets. So Robinhood reports earnings tomorrow at 4:05 p.m. And let's see, 92% of the subscribers of Earnings Whispers consider that Hood is going to beat on earnings, guys. EPS, revenue, and so forth. And take a look. We have a very bullish sentiment here. 72% of the subs of Earnings Whispers consider that the stock is going higher after earnings. Nice. So the expected move is 13%. So 13%, this is going to be a roller coaster ride. Let's see. 13%. The expected move is $7 approximately. To either the upside or the downside. From a technical standpoint, this is a very good looking chart. Above all the moving averages, upward sloping 5-day moving average, above the 150, 20, 200 DMA. This is a very good looking chart, guys. A potential process of consolidation in regular market conditions without Hood reporting earnings tomorrow after hours would tell us that a potential process of consolidation of Hood above this previous level of resistance back from mid-March. So a potential process of consolidation of Hood above $49 could be attracting buyers into this technical chart. This is a very good looking chart. But if Hood reports tomorrow and the markets do not like the report, forget about the technical chart. The stock is going down. That's it. Okay. Let me see some anchor VWAPs in the case of Hood. What do we see here? Let me see. Robinhood markets. And so we didn't have a lot of important levels of potential supply above the current price of Hood. So an anchored volume weighted average price line in the case of Hood that comes from all-time highs is signaling as of now $44. So for the most part, guys, if the report comes out way better than expected, the expected move that I just told you guys about, which is something like $7, could be even more than those $7 that I told you. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of buyers trapped in current levels above in levels above the current price of Hood. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of important levels of overhead supply above the current price of Hood. So watch out for Hood, guys. Yeah, if the markets like the report, there could be a lot of upside here, guys. And take a look. The all-time highs is $67. So Hood, Robinhood reached $68 back in mid-February. And the stock has relative strength. It is in an uptrend above all the moving averages. This could be an interesting stock tomorrow. Let me take a look at the market structure of Robinhood. And I'm surprised, guys, that none of you has asked about a very important stock that you guys always ask about. What stock am I talking about? The first letter of the ticker symbol is P, as in Peter. What stock would that be? There you go. Someone is right over there. What stock am I talking about, guys? The Messi of artificial intelligence. Palantir, bro. Yeah, we'll go over Palantir for sure. Palantir. Those YouTube go crazy, right? And Palantir is the future, bro. You don't understand Palantir, bro. The valuation doesn't matter, bro. Let's go Palantir, bro. Okay, so take a look at the market structure of Hood, guys. The supply is going down, but the level of the demand is very high, and it is almost matching the level of the supply. So we can pretty much reconcile this market structure chart with the fact that over here we can see an upward sloping 5-day moving average. Guys, this is a very interesting stock, huh? Yeah, this is a very interesting stock. It is looking very, very, very good. So, come on, guys. Palantir, bro. The Palantir pumpers get so excited, guys, when they talk about Palantir. So, it went up today 1.25%, and it closed the trading session at $116. Guys, what a good-looking chart. Take a look at this. I'll go over Microsoft, no problem. GM, yeah, sure, not a problem. Take a look at this beautiful uptrend. Above all the moving averages, upward sloping 200 DMA, 100, 20-day moving average, above the 50-day moving average, and take a look at the slope of the 5 DMA. Clearly upward sloping. Higher highs and higher lows. And Palantir closed today's trading session making a brand new higher high. This chart is signaling that we have all-time highs potentially coming up for Palantir, guys. Would I chase it here? No, I would not. This is a higher multiple stock, and I don't think, I personally do not think that the markets are out of the woods yet when it comes to all of these tariffs, fiasco, and Trump said this and Trump said that, and the trade war with China and stuff like that. So if for any reason, guys, the markets go once again in risk-off mode, this stock is going to get severely hit. So I am not chasing Palantir at the current levels, but if you ask me, what is the more likely scenario here for Palantir, I would say that we have all-time highs coming up. This is a very good-looking chart and under the total control of buyers. Would I be interested in maybe buying the dip in case of a pullback here? Yeah. Maybe over here we have a previous level of resistance at $107. That could be a level at which I might give it a thought. But if we happen to see a pullback down to this former level of resistance back from mid-April and back from late March, near $98, which is a level that is very close, by the way, from this upward sloping 20-day moving average, at $98, I might be giving Palantir a shot. But definitely not chasing it here. But mind you, guys, that's my personal opinion, because I know that if something goes wrong with the markets once again, Palantir is very likely to get severely hit once again, as I just said. So I am not touching it here. I am not chasing it here. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see all-time highs once again for the Messi of artificial intelligence. Let me take a look at the market structure of good old Palantir. Let's see what the supply and the demand is looking like. And there you go. Take a look. The demand is through the roof, guys. Take a look at this. Impressive. The supply is rising and above average. When I say average, I am talking about this dotted line that I am pointing out with my mouse. But take a look at the demand, guys. Through the F roof. And if we take a look at anchor VWAPs for Palantir, let's see. PLTR. Take a look, guys. No levels of overhead supply or no important levels of overhead supply above the current price of Palantir. Beautiful technical chart. That is signaling that a retest of all-time highs is highly likely in normal market conditions. Maybe, I don't know. Tomorrow Trump said this, or Xi Jinping said that, and China said this, and I don't know, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? In regular market conditions, I wouldn't be surprised of seeing Palantir hitting all-time highs once again. On Microsoft, sorry guys, oh my throat. Sorry about that. Microsoft, MSFT, also reporting earnings tomorrow, so be careful here. It went up today 0.74%, and it closed the trading session at $394. What's the expected move on Mr. Softy? Let's check that out. MSFT. What do we get here? So Microsoft reports earnings at 5 p.m. And the expected move is 5% for the most part, 4.9%. 50% of the subs of earnings whispers consider that Microsoft will beat on EPS and revenue. And 62% consider that the stock is going higher once the report comes out. So we have a bullish sentiment for the most part. So a 5% move to either the upside or the downside would represent, let me see, this would be a, wow. This is a $20 move, guys. It's a lot. Yeah. $20. Yeah. To either the upside or the downside. Who knows? Let me see, because I think that to the upside, guys, we have a level of interest if the reaction to the report happens to be positive. Let me see, Microsoft. Yeah. So take a look, guys. In the case of Microsoft, an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs is signaling $413. And an anchor VWAP that comes from the very first trading session of 2024 session, that, or let's say that after that trading session, Microsoft went up a lot. So that other anchor VWAP is signaling as of now a price of $412. So this is a big level, guys. Big level of potential overhead supply above the current price of Microsoft at around $413. So if the reaction to the report happens to be positive, Microsoft has to recapture and consolidate above $413, which is a level that is pretty much coinciding with the expected move that we have on Microsoft. And on top of that, guys, take a look at the 200-day moving average. It is signaling $414. So if I happen to see Microsoft trading after hours above $414, so above the 200-day moving average, but at the same time above the convergence of the two anchor VWAPs that I just pointed out, that is a bullish development in my opinion. And Microsoft could be going higher. On the flip side, what about a negative reaction? Keep an eye on the 20-day moving average, $377. If that level is broken to the downside, yeah, well, maybe we have lower prices coming up for Mr. Softy. And you guys were asking, thank you so much. Wish I could stick around. Have a wonderful night. Same for you, Southern Belle. Awesome. There you go. Netflix. So hold on. We are 49 minutes in. There you go. Let's take a look at Netflix. And then I got to take a look at Sofi, my BlowFi. NFLX. Let's see. Wow, guys. I mean, what can I say here? Up today, 1.37%, and it closed the trading session at $1,125. What do you want me to say here? Oh, daddy. Clear uptrend above all the moving averages, upward sloping 5-day moving average. Higher highs, higher lows, clear uptrend. This is a technical chart that is under the total control of buyers. Take a look at how, guys, this white line, the 5-day moving average, 5 DMA, has been acting as support. Here, 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 and today it did it once again. Look. So, it is a technical chart that is under the total control of buyers. So I would be a buyer of the dip at the 5-day moving average. So say that, I don't know, tomorrow, Netflix pulls back. We see some sort of tiny pullback here tomorrow down to this 5-day moving average that is signaling $1,095. That could be a potential spot from which Netflix could be bouncing back up. I'm not going to take a look at any anchor VWAPs. We don't have any important levels. We don't have any levels, actually, of overhead supply above the current price of Netflix. This stock is trading at all-time highs. And I guess that the market structure got to be looking very bullish. Let's see. NFLX, what do we see here? Netflix. And take a look, guys. Demand on top of this chart and demand at the bottom. Sorry, demand on top and supply at the bottom. Demand buyers, supply sellers. Take a look at the demand. The demand is through the roof. And the supply is going down. This is a very good looking market structure that we can actually reconcile with the fact that on this 4-hour chart, we are seeing an upward sloping 5-day moving average. Very good looking chart. And now let's go over Sofi, my BlowFi. They reported today, earlier on today. Very good report, guys. The report came out way better than expected, and surprisingly so. And despite the fact that we have a lot of uncertainty as of now with tariffs and the recession that is coming, this and that, they upguided a very good report. And take a look at the level that the bulls were enabled to hold today as support. None other than the 100-day moving average. Take a look at this blue line. Very important. This is a very important moving average, guys. It is showing us the average price of Sofi during the last 100 days. Very important level. Why? Because we have a lot of market participants looking at that information. That's why the only moving averages, guys, that I use are daily moving averages. So $14, say that the bulls recapture $14, and if we happen to see a potential process of consolidation above that 100-day moving average, if that were the case, that this technical short could be attracting buyers into it. It's possible. Say that Sofi pulls back a bit more. Take a look at this green line. This is the 50-day moving average. It is signaling $12.40, and the 5 DMA is signaling $12.70. So over there, we have a potential, keyword potential, zone of support between $12.70 and $12.43. This could be a spot from which Sofi could be bouncing back up. But ideally, we want to start trades when we have a high conviction when it comes to a situation where the buyers are in control of the tape. And for us to have that situation, in the case of Sofi, I mean, we have to see Sofi above the 100-day moving average. So potentially consolidating above $14.20. Let me take a look at the market structure of Sofi, my BlowFi. What do we see here? Let's see. Come on, Sofi. Come on, bro. There you go. Let's take a look at the demand and the supply. Wow, this is a very good looking market structure, guys. So we saw profit taking today, but the market structure, take a look at the demand. It is going up through the roof, along with the supply, but the level of the demand is higher relative to the level of the supply, and we can actually reconcile this technical chart with the fact that over here we can see an upward sloping 5-day moving average. That makes me believe that if we happen to see a retest of this upward sloping 5 DMA at $12.70, Sofi could be potentially bouncing back up from there. And when it comes to anchor VWAPs for Sofi, let's see. Let's check that out. Sofi Technologies, and I'll take a look. Interesting. So an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs is signaling as of now an average price of $13. So actually, Sofi is bouncing back up as of now, guys. As I am going live for you from that anchor VWAP. Take a look. $13. Anchor VWAP or anchored volume weighted average price line that comes from all-time highs. So what message is this anchor VWAP sending us? That these market participants that as of now has an average price on Sofi of $13 are defending price over there. Most of them are not selling or closing their positions on Sofi. They are buying more Sofi as of now. Why? Well, I don't know, because they like the stock, because this is a cold stock, or because they liked the earnings report that Sofi posted today. So it is an interesting short. Crowdstrike, so cybersecurity stocks had a good day today. Let me go over Sofi quickly, guys, because I need to wrap it up. So before we wrap it up, Sofi, a new higher high. It went up today 1.87%, closed the trading session at $430. Clear uptrend above all the moving averages. Upward sloping 5-day moving average. Upward sloping 5 DMA or 5-day moving average above the 200, 20, 100, 50-day moving average. Very good looking short. Any potential process of consolidation above $423 could be attracting buyers into this technical short. $423 happens to be a previous level of support back from mid-February. So in regular market conditions, if nothing, spooks the market and stuff like that, say that Crowdstrike CRWD consolidates above $423, I wouldn't be surprised of seeing higher prices. Being the first potential gap to the upside, $440, or why not? All-time highs, $457. Very, very, very good looking short, guys. No doubt about it. Let's take a look at the market structure of Crowdstrike, CRWD. Let's see. And mind you, guys, you guys are usually asking about tech stocks, right? Crowdstrike and Palantir and Sofi and Tesi. If Microsoft, Meta, Apple report below estimates tomorrow and on Thursday as well, most of these tech stocks that you guys love trading are very likely to take a hit. Keep that in mind, right? Say that Meta drops the ball and Microsoft drops the ball and Amazon drops the ball and they post weak guidance and they miss on revenue and EPS and this and that. Crowdstrike and Palantir and so forth are likely to take a hit. Keep that in mind, right? Those stocks are very big market movers, right? In the case of Crowdstrike, the demand is starting to rise above the level of the supply, so no complaints about the market structure of Crowdstrike. And when it comes to anchor VWAPs, Crowdstrike is pretty much trading at all-time highs, so we shouldn't have any important levels of overhead supply above the current price of Crowdstrike. That could be worth pointing out. And take a look, guys. Yeah. So an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs in the case of Crowdstrike is signaling as of now $366. So the average market participant that started a position on Crowdstrike when this stock reached its highest price ever has an average price of $366. We didn't have, for the most part, any buyers trapped above the current price of Crowdstrike. So in regular market conditions, we shouldn't be surprised of seeing Crowdstrike hitting all-time highs near $459. And let's call it a day, guys. We are, let me see, 59 minutes in, an hour. Did you guys like the live stream? I hope so. Yeah, I mean, when I go live for you guys, I really need to run the extra mile. I have to, because I live stream throughout the whole training session for the members of my Patreon. Then I go live for you. So I am running the extra mile. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I will see you guys tomorrow on Discord. Keep an eye on the pivot, guys. It works. Is Tuesday the new Thursday? No, this week. Yeah, because on Thursday, guys, we have Apple reporting earnings at 4:30. Sometimes they report later than 4:30 p.m., so I might not be able to go live for you on Thursdays. I might not be able to go live for you guys this upcoming Thursday, so I preferred to do it today just to play it safe. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Can you please do me a favor if I ask you? Go grab a beer. Do me that favor. And cheers. Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay? See you. Take care.